Hey, hi everyone. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well and you are enjoying the weather. It's been getting beautiful out there of late, and yeah, hope you're doing well and yeah, you're just enjoying the weather. Well, welcome to all our viewers on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. So glad and thankful that you are joining me today. We started a mini series on monthly reset. So last week I wasn't here, but just a recap. We started by saying that reset, are a powerful and impactful way that we reflect on our lives and make plans and set goals. Is also a great time to schedule appointment, do some self-care, cleaning organization in your home, your workplace, before the new month begins. And guess what? Tomorrow it's a new month. And like I said the monthly reset usually involves journaling and reflection of the recent or maybe the current month. And task number two is a task that helps you set yourself up for a healthy and happy and productive month. And then the third is setting goals for the next month. And part of what we've been discussing is looking at 7 important tasks for you when it comes to setting those monthly goals. And so far, we have discussed the following steps. We've talked about the number one task is for you to start with a brain dump. It doesn't just write everything that comes to you. And then the number two is for you to reflect on the past month. And then number three, like we had mentioned, it's for you to set the next, set goals for the next month. So go over to our Facebook, on our YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, just to refresh your memory on some of those things we had talked about. So today I'm going to start with the step four. I'm going to start with the step four, which is review your budget and finance, your finance goal. As you can see, we're in a very challenging time when it comes to finance, inflations, and the market. Until now, let's get to other tasks that you might want to get done before the new month begins, just like tomorrow. And a good habit is usually to add to your monthly reset routines to review your budget and your finances, and set a new goal for the new month. It is good. It's a good idea just to look back on what you spent in the previous month. So take stock of what you spent and make note where you need to stay in your budget and where you went over your budget and what areas you want to focus, for this upcoming month in terms of your finances. And so some of the questions for you to reflect on is, are you spending too much, eating out, or maybe on entertainment, or maybe other things, depending on what you and your family are doing, or do you have specific problem areas you want to work on? Do you have a new saving goals, maybe for a special event like trips? And yeah, so those are some things you need to reflect on. And what are your main budget goals right now? So think about these questions. Do you just think about your regular budget in terms of bills you have to pay, or maybe just the basic expenses? But also, if you have any short or long term, you know, saving goals, so look at it in that light. And then the number five, the fifth step is creating a meal plan for the month. Right now, creating a meal plan for the month. While this, I think it could be optional, you could change it. It can also be helpful to have, a meal plan for the next month. You don't have to do meal prep where you cook or prepare multiple meals at one time, but just having a general overview of meals, for the month is usually helpful, and it helps in terms of, just cutting down our budget. start your monthly meal plan by first writing on the calendar what days you will be eating out and the days you'll be eating in. This might be events or maybe parties you're going to, a weekly pizza night with your family, your friends, or even other occasions where you know for sure that you or your family will not be eating, a typical homemade meal. So plan for all that, right? So from there, you can start writing down some meal ideas, something that speaks to you, to your family. You don't have to, have a plan every single meal for the month. But as this is often easy when it is done on a weekly basis, just write down some ideas. So an example would be, you know, do you have ingredients in your pantries or your refrigerator where you want to use up, right? So is there something that has been sounding good to you recently? Sometimes those ingredients they speak to you, sure. Do you have a kid that has any special request in terms of the meal, the food they want? What is a fun seasonal meal that you would like, that would be good for you to prepare, especially in this time? I think soup, right? Soup works well. What is something that you can make ahead of time, that will feed you more than one meal? And also write down some meal ideas, add to your calendar, create a shopping list that you can add to, for each week in terms of your grocery trip so that you're not spending too much gas going there, back and forth all the time. So just to recap, we've talked about review your budget and your finance goals, create a meal plan. So those are the things we have talked about today. So that is all for tonight. And please do not forget to follow us on our social media handle. If you have any questions, send those questions to info at bliss counseling and wellness center.com. But thank you so much for joining us, and I do bid you good evening, and I wish you a happy new month in advance. I'll see you here 7 p.m. Central Time next to Tuesday, and we would continue with a series of our monthly reset. So that's all from me, and I wish you good evening from me to you. Bye bye.